Okay, getting ready to run the lathe, and the first thing you want to do is try to get all your tools together. Have everything you need whenever you get ready to start. And that saves time, keep from having to go back to the tool room and various things like that. We're going to start off with this print. It's a 6-inch long print. We're going to use 1-inch diameter, and it's just 3 steps. The largest diameter is 900 thousandths. This middle one is 800 and the smallest is 700. So I already have my stock material here. It's 2 inches longer than what I need. We have a little bit of room to put into the chuck. So let's go ahead and mount the bar. Stick it in like so. Now normally leave about a thumb thickness hanging out because we're going to have to face this off and we're going to have to put a center drill in. Alright, now we've been using high-speed steel. We had to grind this tool. Here's another type of tool. This is called cemented carbide. It has a carbide tip on it, and it has a little where it was cement glued to this piece right here. This is an inserted carbide tool, which y'all will be using later. And they come in different sizes and different grades, different radiuses, and various things like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mount this tool in here. So we need to get a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, now that we have our tool mounted in place, what we need to do is talk a little bit about speeds and feeds. Over here is our gearbox for RPMs, and we're looking at this side over here. And if you look at the lowest one right here, it's a little hard to read on this camera, but it's showing 45 being the low range and 355 being our high range. If you notice these little arrow symbols here are representing this top up here. So here we're in low range. That would be neutral, and all the way over would be high. So this gear right here, it shows these symbols over on this side. So right now, if we look at it, we are in the bottom, showing straight down and over. So low range would be 250, and the high range would be 2,000. I'm going to be running about, let's say, 355. That'd be at the top, high range. Look at the symbol. It looks like all the way over this way and this way. Okay. Now that we have our speed, we need to think about our feed rates. So let me move this out of the way so we can see better. Here's our feed rates down here. This side is feeds, and this side over here is for threading, which we will get to in a little bit. So the first thing we want to do is I'm going to be going anywhere from 4 to 8 thousandths per revolution. All right, so here's 4 thousandths here. So that would be under number 4. It should be right here. I have to roll the chuck there. It's in 4. And we also need to be in B. We are already in B. So now that means that every time this chuck goes around 1 revolution, my carriage is going to be moving 4 thousandths each revolution. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and put this in low range. There. And we can turn up. We already switched to 1. So if we hit the green button, that's going to start us up. Now this lever here, if you push it forward, your chuck's going to be coming towards you. Okay? Your chuck should always be coming towards you. If I push down on it, it will be reverse. Okay. All right, now here's our tailstock. That's used for drilling or either mounting a live center in there for support. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this tool post around so we can go ahead and start turning. All right, with the tool post turned now, turn the machine on. Make sure you're wearing your glasses. All right, I can already tell that this tool is way below center. If I go in and make a mark, you can see that I'm way below center now. So we need to adjust that. Let's see what this looks like. Turn the machine on. Okay, this lever right here, if I lift up on it, it's going to go forward. If I turn it to the left, it's going to go that way. If I turn it this way, it's going to go that way. So I'm going to bring this up until I make contact. Take my carriage wheel and roll it in a little bit. And lift up. Now we're automatic feeding. We need to speed that up a little bit on our feed rate, but anyway, it did a good job. All right, now let's go ahead and put a center in. We'll mount that into the tailstock. Notice it has a flat on it, so whenever you stick it in, it will find a certain place. Pop it and it locks in. Going to slide our our tailstock up. Back this out of the way so we can get to it. And you always want to make sure that whenever you turn the machine on, your tool isn't going to be in the way. That's very, very, very important. We turn that and we know we're clear. Now this lever on the back side, if I pull that up, that will lock my tailstock to the bed. This, by the way, is a number 3 center drill. And whenever I drill into it, it's going to form a 60-degree angle, the same angle that it's going to be on our live center. That will give it support whenever we're turning it. Okay, now let's turn this tool post around. Now when we pull it out, we want to have just a little bit hanging out up inside the chuck. That good and tight. Back our tails, back our live Jacob's chuck out. I'll get it right in a minute. Put our live center in. Now, I need to make sure I can get to the beginning of that shaft. That's good enough. Lock the tail stop. bring that in. Okay, now the longest part we have here is going to be 6 inches. I have a 6-inch rule, so I know I can go that far, but I'm going to go just a little bit beyond it because I'm going to have to saw it off or either take a part off tool and part it off. Let's bring this here, and we're a little bit beyond 6 inches, which should be fine. I'm going to turn the machine on and make a mark. Now I can take it to that mark. Okay, now what we're going to do, this is our cross slide, and we're going to touch off on this part and set it on 0. Turn the machine on. Okay, I just scratched the surface. Let's back this out of the way. Turn the machine off. Now, there's a lock, there's a nut right here, so if I undo that, now I can set this on 0. There's a line right here we want to line that up on. Focus in a little better. Now I can relock it. Notice right here, it's showing 1/ diameter symbol 0.002. That means that each one of these lines is 2/1000ths of an inch. I'm going to take 50/1000ths this first cut. So the first long line I come to, it's going to be 10. There's 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and turn the machine back on. Well, first we're going to slow it down. I'm not going to turn at 355 RPMs. We're going to turn around about 180. So 180, if you notice, is in our low range. So we're going to switch it over to a low range. All right, now we need to see what the symbol for 180 looks like. That is both of them going this direction. Okay. 180. Now, this category over here, that's if you switch the gears in the back of the machine, then you'll be in this category over here. Right now, we're at the large gear on the bottom, small gear at the top. Over here, small gear on the bottom, large gear on the top. Just vice versa. Let's go ahead and turn the machine on. We've already made our setting right here at 50/1000ths. Bring it up a little closer. So we're almost touching. And right here, if we take this lever and push it to the left, now we're turning. We're in our stopping point. We're getting ready to disengage the feed. Sometimes what I do is I disengage feed just before I get to it. And then I can take my hand wheel right here and I can just barely pull it in. That way I know I don't go beyond my line. Okay, our feed is disengaged, so now we can switch our machine off. Always disengage your feed before you switch your machine off. Let it come to a stop. Now we can roll the carriage back and we can measure our part. Okay, go ahead and get our micrometer. And let's go ahead and get a measurement. 900 plus 2 lines, and it's on the 2, so that would be 52, 952. That means that we have to take off another 52 thousandths. Okay, I'm not going to take 52 thousandths. I'm going to take maybe about 47. That way I'm going to be at the top of my tolerance. Okay, now we're taking our second cut. This should be our final cut for the 900 diameter. Get ready, disengage the feed. Feed's disengaged. The hand wheel, I will slowly bring it up to this edge. This one's not that important because we're going to saw it off anyway. But basically, just be in the habit of doing it the correct way anyway. Alright, switch the machine off. And we need to measure up our 104 thousandths. So let's go ahead and go back to the beginning. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take it back. Okay, let's turn the machine back on. Go ahead and make us a mark. Now, I can back this back up. Lightly touch off again. One, so let's move this out of the way. And we're going to take it to 150, which actually 50 thousandths per cut. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 thousandths. And engage our feed. About halfway to the length for our 800 diameter. Okay, just about there. Getting ready to knock it out of gear. Out of gear. Get the hand wheel and slowly bring it up to that line without going beyond it. That's it. Switch the machine off. Crank the carriage back. And we're going to get a measurement. 852, and we're already setting on a 50 mark. 150, we'll just take it 200 thousandths. It beats having to re-zero each time. You can continue counting from where you're at. You don't have. You risk a chance of every time you turn this, unloosen this and turn it, moving it in or out. One of the others. Let's turn the machine on. Bring our carriage up a little closer to the workpiece and engage our feed. This should be our final 800 thousandths diameter. Getting closer to our 800 diameter, 800 thousandths diameter, I should say. Those chips are coming off. That's coming off good. They're breaking off in little sixes. Little sixes or nines. Alright. Get ready to disengage the feed. Feed's disengaged. And slowly bring the hand wheel up. There. Stop the machine. Let's come to a complete stop. And let's go ahead and measure up our part. On the tailstock end is 802, and at the end of the 800 thousandths diameter is 803. So that's good. We don't have much taper in it at all. Now we need to turn these 700 thousandths diameter back 2 inches, and it's a little hard to get your scale in now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back this tailstock out of the way and back this out of the way as well. Now I can take my rule and I can measure it and set it on 2 inches easier. There, see it's on 2 inches. Now I'm going to take my tailstock, push it back into place, and be very careful not to push it too far up inside the chuck. By the way, this handle right here, I didn't explain it earlier, that locks this hand wheel. So if I take the hand wheel and put just a little bit of pressure on it, now if I lock this, that keeps my hand wheel from backing out of the way. Let's turn the machine on and make a mark. Okay. Now if I go back, lightly touch off, let me show you something. The reason why I wanted that tool to be sticking out as far as it was, so it wouldn't interfere with the tailstock. I don't have much clearance through here at all. If I had to go any smaller, then I would have to adjust this accordingly. Okay, now we wound up on 200. I'm going to take 50 thousandths. There's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 thousandths. Get close to it and engage the feed. Much further to go on this diameter for the length rather. I'll have to take one more cut. Feed's engaged, disengaged, and my hand wheel lock. There. Alright, let's switch the machine off. Disengage first, turn the machine off, and crank it back and get a measurement. Okay, we are at 752. The light is really bothering it. 752 thousandths. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the 50 thousandths and be done with it. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 thousandths, and this should be our final cut. And we'll be through with the part. Go ahead and engage our feed. Alright, last final cut. Excuse me. Alright, disengage the feet. Slowly bring the hand wheel up. There. And switch the machine off. That should be a final part. Let's measure it and see what's going on. All three of our diameters are correct. The lengths are correct. So we're through with the part. Let's go ahead and back our tool post out of the way. Pull the tailstock out of the way. and take our part out of the machine. All right, you see this? That should never be left in the chuck. Take it out as soon as you get through using it. All right, that's our finished part. Okay, all of the diameters are correct. 700, this one, 800, and the last one, 902. Okay. If you hold your micrometer like this, you can operate it with one hand. Anyway, switch the machine off, and the next video will be on threading.